Hey, how's it going? It's Philip Brady from 5 Minute Coach with a quick little coaching story today to just kind of hit home, I guess, about a little message I was speaking about in a previous video on belief. And it's a story about an ultramarathon in Australia from Sydney to Melbourne, which is 875 kilometres. And a potato farmer named Cliff Young signed up for the race. And the organiser said to him, Cliff, have you ever run a race before? And he was like, no. Have you ever done any kind of running or anything like that? No. And he's like, well, what makes you think you can do this kind of like ultra marathon, like extreme athletes are doing this kind of race? Oh, I was talking to my mates down in the pub and I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to run from Sydney to Melbourne? And the organisers were so kind of taken aback, they said, right, we'll just let him do it or whatever. Cliff set out, started the race with all the rest of them, of course, the rest being athletes and kind of training for this kind of event. Set off and they were miles ahead of Cliff at the start, but Cliff knew this was a race and he had never heard of the idea of racing or running for 18 hours and sleeping for 6. He knew he could take toilet breaks and food breaks, so he just kept running through the night. He never stopped. So while the others were sleeping, he was running along, a little bit like Forrest Gump, that kind of idea. His belief was that this is a race, this is an experience. He wasn't giving in to the fatigue that the rest of them were after, or kind of, not after, but that they were experiencing, because he had approached it in a completely different belief structure. This was something exciting, something to tell his mates in the pub, and something that would just challenge his and their, like other people's belief on what was possible. So 875 kilometers later, because he was running while the others were sleeping, Cliff was ahead. And he finished, I think it's 10 hours before everyone else. And he was given 10,000 Australian dollars as prize money. To which he broke it up and gave 4 people behind him 2,000 each. So he got 2,000 and so did the previous 4 people who came in after him. So he won this race. He won the $10,000 and gave it to the other guys. He wasn't doing it for the money. He was doing it for the experience of running from Sydney to Australia. There's a story as well about, I think his name is John... I can't think of a second name, but he was a runner, and around that time nobody had run a 4-minute mile until he came along. And all he did, he broke down the belief structure that if he could run a quarter mile at a minute, a half mile by 2 minutes, a 3/4 mile by 3 minutes, and then you do a 4-minute mile. So, like, so simple, and yet he worked to get each of them stepping stones to achieving the 4-minute mile. And then once he did it, he broke the belief that it was impossible for a human to do it. And then I think like 20 or 30,000 people that year achieved the same thing. They achieved the 4-minute mile. It just goes to show you, sometimes the beliefs that were handed down are not necessarily true. So how can you challenge it? And how can you set new beliefs that empower and enrich your day to tackle new things with new belief, that you believe for yourself that this is possible? Something to think about. I hope you have a great day. It's Philip Brady from 5 Minute Coach. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great day.